Hello everyone, this is Kip Monty, and this is Elder Scrolls Online. I've had a lot of people ask me about skills and my build, and several people asked me to do a video, so this is my attempt at a video. I'm not one of the best theory crafters, but here's what I've learned so far as a Nightblade. So, my main skill bar you'll see down here, I use Killer's Blade, which is the first ability you're going to get in the assassination skill line. I morph it in Killer's Blade, which adds a heal when you kill someone using it. Second ability is Rapid Strike. I use this as a stamina using ability. It's the only ability I have on the bar that uses stamina. Granted, a lot of times your stamina is going to be used in blocking, dodge rolling, running, whatever, but interrupting. However, I like to be able to have something to burn some stamina on when, the time comes. When I have too much, rather. Some people don't like this a lot for PvP because if your target moves away, it's not going to get the full effect of the attack, and the main part of that attack is that last hit. But if you're maneuverable, you can really stay on your targets and use it at good times when you know they're not about to get out of your range. So I definitely like having it. The rest of my abilities I kind of swap out. Well, I'll jump to my fourth one, Ambush. This is my favorite ability by far for the Nightblade. This is the morphed version of Teleport Strike. It lets you gap close, do a little damage, do a little stun, interrupt anything they're casting, and then morphed, it gives you an increased damage on the next attack. It takes a good bit of your magicka, but it is wonderful in PvP. Just my favorite ability. Even playing PvE, going around stealth, get behind something, teleport strike in, nail it pretty hard. I mean, it's great. And that is the second ability in the assassination tree. So with my two of my main abilities being the assassination tree, this is definitely going to be a tree you want to grab some of the passives in. You've got the increased damage from crouched. It also makes the stun last for a little bit longer, so don't forget about that effect as well. I won't go through every ability. You can kind of look through them on your own. Mostly Harmless has a website up called tessotools.com, and they've got a skill builder on there that works pretty well. I like some of these passives because they don't necessarily require assassination skills to make them effective. Alright, some other abilities. This first of my siphoning abilities, Swallow Soul. This is the morph version of this, and it gives you a little bit of extra healing when you have it slotted. This is good to have on your bar to kind of give yourself a little bit of survivability. You do a little bit of magic damage, and then it gives you some healing back off the damage you're doing, so it can kind of keep you topped off a little bit. This ability, the second ability in the siphoning skill line, I actually did a whole video on this ability because for PvE it is great for killing hard named mobs. I won't go into it in much detail as I did on that other video, but if you're soloing stuff, this can be a lifesaver if you get to some hard fights. Yes, that is a very long stun. While I'm PvPing, I'll also often use Shadowy Disguise. This lets me temporarily go invisible, so it kind of confuses the enemy I'm fighting for a second. They can't target me. Anything they're channeling, they're not going to be able to channel anymore. And then it also gives me an increased critical strike rating on my next attack, so I can pop this off real quick and use a stealth attack on them, which is pretty high damage. You can add this ability in concealed weapons. If you're in stealth, then it stuns the enemy for 4.3 seconds. Sometimes I'll replace prolonged suffering with this one, replace the excuse me, I'll put Prolonged Suffering and Swallow Soul, swap those out for Shadowy Disguise and Concealed Weapons, so I can go invisible, stun them, get a pretty powerful shot off on them. Works out really well. And honestly guys, that's about all I use from these skills. I know we have a lot of options available to us, but you can see that, you know, most of the ones I have leveled up are those I just talked about. Marking can be kind of fun, but it's also a little bit time consuming. Focus attacks can be pretty cool as well, especially if you're maybe using I'm using dual wield, but if you have your second weapon as a bow, these can work pretty well from range, especially since you can do them as kind of openers before you start combat. Of course, you want to pretty much get all the passives that you can. I missed one. I need 2 more points in assassination. Alright. Again, getting the passives out of dual wield. You can see Rapid Strikes is the only thing I'm really using much at all here. I'll use a Resto Staff as my second weapon a lot of times in PvP. This is especially useful when we're sieging something, and as a melee DPS, they're all up on the wall, so I'm not doing a whole lot, so I can help throw some heals around and keep people up that are trying to siege and things. Armor, I go straight medium armor. Grab its passives, especially for the improved stealth abilities you get out of this. Now I've heard that medium armor has a little bit of bugs to it right now, but you know, still in beta, still expected. But I like I like the increased crits and things of that nature. You're going to want to grab the passives out of Soul Magic. You'll need Soul Trap just for filling soul gems, of course, from time to time. Fighter's Guild, I haven't actually been using these, but the more I look at them, I probably will on launch when I'm going to do the story quest and all that again, because you get a lot of abilities in here that help you against Undead and Daedra. And a lot of them are just passives that don't require you to be using Fighter Guild skills. It's just you're doing extra damage to those types of enemies. So great. And you'll also notice Intimidating Presence. That and the Mages Guild Persuasive Will, those give you extra options in conversations with NPCs. Basically let you skip some steps in a quest here and there. So definitely worth a skill point if you're trying to save time. I personally like the Breton skill line. I like the extra spell resistance. I like the extra magicka and the decreased cost of my spells. Just, it's always been one of my favorite in all the Elder Scrolls games. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I didn't go too deep into some of the theory crafting that you can do with some of the different builds, but it's just a starting point. A lot of people have been asking that, you know, they want to go into this big beta weekend that's coming up and they want to know what's going on and not have to spend a lot of time looking at the skills. So here's a starting point for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. This is Kip Monty, and I appreciate you watching my video.